everybody, welcome back to Chelsea Bakes and happy summer. Today we're going to do a nice treat for summer picnics. It combines two of my most favorite foods ever, pizza being one and fruit being number two. So you might think fruit and pizza, that sounds a little bit weird, but what we're going to actually make is a fruit pizza with a base crust that is a sugar cookie, a cream cheese frosting, and then top it off with some delicious fruit toppings. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cream for about a minute a stick of unsalted butter or a half a cup of unsalted butter. So we'll get to creaming that. You'll want it to be like room temperature. And cream it for about a minute or until it's creamy and smooth. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit fluffier. So after about a minute, then you want to add 3/4 a cup of white granulated sugar. So not a full cup, just 3/4. Then you want to mix that up till you have a smooth consistency. You might have to scrape down the sides a little bit to get it all mixed in. So then once you have the butter and the sugar mixed, you'll need to add 1 egg that has been sitting out at room temperature. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then mix together. The butter and the sugar are going to ensure that you have a nice sweet crust for your base. And I would mix this on a medium speed for about 30 seconds to a minute. So then you're going to want to set your large mixing bowl aside and get a smaller measuring bowl or a measuring cup, and you'll want to start for the dry ingredients with a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then a teaspoon of baking powder. When you're baking, it's always good to have fresh baking powder. That can make a huge difference, so just make sure it's fresh. And then we're going to add a 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. Teaspoon, or 1/2 teaspoon. And then you just want to mix those dry ingredients together. So once you have all those combined, you're going to want to add the dry ingredients to the butter and sugar mixture and just add it gradually. So we'll do about half first. You want to add the other half. Again, you might need to scrape down the sides a little bit. So once you have them combined, then you might want to start mixing it together a little bit with a spoon or your hands because the dough gets a little bit thicker. So with the mixture, it'll end up just getting stuck. So it's good to mix it up with a spoon at this point, or a spatula. You want it to form kind of into just one big dough ball. And in the meantime, while you're mixing all of this up, it's a good time to make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you'll want to bake this dough on either a 12-inch round pizza pan. I don't usually use a pizza pan. I have a very large rectangular cookie sheet that I use, and it is very good with being a non-stick pan, so I tend to use that for this recipe. And I just form it into a round pizza crust. But you can do a rectangle or even a square, whatever type of baking pan you have available. So now that we have the dough ball ready, you need to let this chill for a half hour to overnight. So however long you have, if you need to prepare it a day in advance, that's fine, because it needs to chill anyways. So we're gonna pop that in the fridge to chill, and while that's chilling, we're going to make the icing. So while your dough is chilling in the fridge, you can mix up the frosting, and it's a cream cheese base, so you'll need an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. And I recommend using regular cream cheese. Don't use fat-free in this instance because it won't hold up as well. And you'll want this to be room temperature, so make sure you allot some time to let the cream cheese sit out. So 8 ounces of cream cheese, and then 1/4 cup or 1/2 stick of unsalted butter. So again, this is all unsalted butter for this recipe. And you'll want that to be room temperature as well. And then you'll want to cream those together for about 2 minutes. So started on that. You can use a stand mixer as well, but For the purposes of these videos, I like to use the hand mixer so you can actually see the steps better than if it was in a stand mixer. So next you're going to want to add 2 cups of powdered sugar. And there's our first cup. Second cup, and then a teaspoon of cream or milk. I'm using milk today. You want to combine that. And depending on how thick the frosting seems to be, you might want to add another tablespoon of the cream or milk, which it looks like I'm probably going to have to do. So I'll add that in, and also a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And make sure that's mixed up well. And you can even add a food coloring to this frosting, but I'm just gonna leave it plain white today because we're using lots of colorful fruits to top it off and garnish the dessert. So once you have that mixed up and it's nice and creamy, you'll wanna set that off to the side. And we're gonna get out our chilled dough and get ready to bake. So now that you have the frosting made and you let your dough chill for about a half hour or longer if you made it the day before, you're going to want to press it out on a greased baking sheet. So I'm gonna do a round one today, just so we can get an original looking pizza. So again, the dough is a little bit thicker and stickier, so you might want to just knead it out with your hands, or you can use a rolling pin, whatever's easier for you. Make sure you have a nice, even surface. Make it about 12 inches round. And again, just make sure that you have your baking sheet grease, so it's easier to cut. And like all pizzas, it doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to decorate it and it's going to look beautiful. And you can even double this recipe if you would want to make a larger one. It's very easy to double. All right, so now you're going to want to pop that in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes, and make sure to watch it carefully so it doesn't burn. So while your pizza crust is baking in the oven, now is a good time to cut up some fruit. And you can really use whatever fruit that you like for this recipe. I'm gonna do a really colorful one for today to kind of kick off summer, but a lot of people for Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, they like to use strawberries and blueberries to keep a red, white, and blue theme. Today we're going to use blueberries, kiwi, strawberries, grapes, and mandarin oranges. So I'm gonna cut up some kiwi here. Now for the grapes, I cut those into halves, and then the strawberries we're going to cut into slices as well. This is the best time of the year for this dessert because fruit is so fresh. So now that we have our cookie ice ready to go, we're going to decorate it. We'll start with the strawberries around the edges. And this is where you can kind of get creative. We'll put some blueberries. There you have it, a delicious fruit pizza. Thank you guys for tuning in to Chelsea Bakes again. Have a great day.